In this lecture, we're going to talk about negative exponents. So let's take a look at the first example, x to the negative fourth. Right here, we don't see it as a fraction, so we're going to make it a fraction. Now, you cannot have negative exponents. So, in order to make it a positive exponent, we're going to move that x to the fourth to the bottom of the fraction. And when you move it to the bottom, you're going to make that 4 a positive. Now, if you guys remember, there's an invisible 1 right here, so that 1 just stays up there on top. Let's take a look at this second example. It's not a fraction, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a fraction. And I'm going to put a 1 underneath it. Now, this y to the negative 5, that is the only negative exponent. So I'm going to take that y to the negative 5, move it to the bottom, make it a positive 5. Now, look at that x cubed. That x cubed is not a negative. So I'm going to keep that on the top of my fraction. For my third example, I have negative 4 divided by x to the negative fourth. This is already a fraction, so I'm going to leave it that way. The only thing I'm going to look at is this negative 4 here on the bottom, because it's the exponent. The negative 4 on top is not an exponent. I need to make that bottom negative 4 into a positive negative 4. So if it's on the bottom, I'm going to move it to the top of my fraction and make the 4 a positive. Now that negative 4 was already on top, so I'm just going to leave it there. If you want to put a 1 underneath here, you're more than welcome to. But my final answer is just negative 4x to the fourth. Let's take a look at this final example. I have 3 divided by 2 times x to the negative fifth. I'm only going to look at this x to the negative fifth. That's the negative exponent, and it's on the bottom. To get rid of the negative exponent, I'm going to move it to the top of the fraction and make it a positive. And then that 3 and the 2 are just going to stay where they're at.